Hello guys, my name is Evan and this is Country View Acres. So today we are doing our third and final cut of hay this year. This is the first year that we have cut hay, and we've been using a 9-foot Sicklebar mower from New Holland to cut the hay field. And I've gone through this thing 3 times, I think so far, trying to get it in good working order. So I'm hoping today is my lucky day and that I have a good cutting of hay. So it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. The field should be completely dry. There shouldn't be any dew or moisture left in the field. And I'm hoping that this Sicklebar will cut the grass and the alfalfa just fine. So in the last video where I worked on the Sicklebar mower, I adjusted the lead. And the lead is kind of the angle. And the tip out there should be slightly angled forward than the this end of the Sicklebar. And I adjusted that, and afterwards still I had several people saying the lead still needed adjusted. And I saw one comment where they suggested that maybe it wasn't the Sicklebar mower, maybe it had to do with the sway of the 3-point arms. And I think they hit it directly on the head. This tractor does not normally have 3-point arms. These are an aftermarket add-on, and you can't stop the sway on these arms. There's no chain, there's no turnbuckles, there's nothing to stop the sway. So it sways freely. So as this thing is mowing down, I think the sway arms are actually allowing this to go backwards because it can sway. See how much sway there is in those arms? That's a lot. So I don't think I'm going to fix the lead problem with the Sicklebar mower. And that may end up really hurting me, where it may still not want to cut right just because of that. So we're just going to have to, fire it up and try it out, see what happens. So this being our first year cutting hay, we only did 3 acres of hay this year, and we may expand that here in the future. But this is a grass and alfalfa field. It's both plants are mixed up in here. But alfalfa does really good in dry weather, and it has been really dry this summer, very dry. So there is grass mixed up in here, but it is shorter than the alfalfa. And this is September 14th. And around here, I don't think you really want to cut hay past the end of September, because you want this to get to grow back a little bit from being cut and to get healthy and everything before winter hits. So that's why it's going to end up being our last cutting of hay. But the alfalfa has got these little purple blooms that have that started on the alfalfa. So when the alfalfa goes to bloom, that's typically when people cut their hay. But let's go ahead and fire up the tractor and get cutting. Well, I think the Sicklebar mower cut pretty decently. I think it's the best cut that I've got on the hayfield yet with it. Now at the beginning of cutting the hayfield, I started at 4:30 in the afternoon, and that side over there in the trees stays shaded during the day, and it was wet. And we've had a really dry, probably the last 4 weeks has been really dry, no rain. We finally got rain 2 days ago, so I've let it dry for 2 days. Plus, you know, we get heavy dew in the morning, and that should have been dry by now, you know. And no, it was still wet, so it wanted to clog on me for sure. So it took me about 3 passes, I think, before I finally, you know, on the 4th pass, I finally got out of the shade and got into dry grass. And then it was running pretty good, but I wasn't leaving like a good path for the Sicklebar mower to ride in, for the shoe here to ride in. So I adjusted the swath board up here. I tried to get it to roll the hay over better than it did, and it did improve after I bent that swath board a little bit. And after that, I think it ran pretty decently. I'm still not running real fast. I'm probably only doing you know, an acre an hour or something. Of course, I'm running cameras and stuff like that as well, so I'm stopping for those things. But I think I'm only going maybe 3 miles an hour is all I'm going. So it still seems like it's a fairly slow process to be able to cut this field with the Sicklebar mower. But overall, I think I'm pretty happy with the way it's performed today. And I don't know if there's really too much more that I want to do to it. I think this is probably about the best that I can ask for. Now this swath board, I do need to probably tweak on that a little bit. It actually, when you lift up the Sicklebar, it actually hangs down a little too far. So when you back up, it kind of wants to catch sometimes. So I need to adjust the swath board a little bit and try to just tweak that maybe a little bit more. But other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, last hayfield of the season, and this should be pre-sold. I need to call the guy and make sure he still wants to buy it. And he actually talked about bringing his hay wagon over. That way I could just go ahead and load his hay wagon as I did the hayfield, and then I wouldn't have to you know, unload it again and load his trailer when he came over. So that would actually save me a little bit of work if he brought that over. But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the way it ran, at least in the areas where it was dry. So I think this is about the best I can probably ask for now. I know I've had a lot of people ask me, why don't I buy a disc bind? Well, a disc bind is a whole other price level, and you could spend $10,000–$15,000 buying a disc bind, and I bought this for like $375, and then I've done a bunch of repairs to it. And yeah, eventually I may look into a hay bind instead of running the Sicklebar mower, but I think the more and more I use it, the more comfortable I'll become with it, and I think you know, I'll be fine with it for now. I mean, we're only doing 3 acres for now, and we may add another 3 acres here in a year or so. I need to make up my mind if I want to do that next year, if I want to wait 1 more year before I add another 3 acres of hay. But yeah, I think that's it for today's video, guys. I'm pretty happy with the way the Sicklebar ran this time. Definitely, out of all 3 cuts this year, is definitely the best cut I've got out of this thing. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.